They can't cut the discount rate, but the cutting of the discount rate flooded the place with with more money and created a boom. Well, the city guys are not going to let that get away, so they go up here and they're building new buildings, they're finishing the light rail, they're increasing the city payroll, and nobody cares because you're busy doing all the stuff that happens in the boom window. Refinancing your house, opening a new store, investing in businesses, borrowing money on future income and on your asset, your house. Well, federal government's letting the bankers do that. The bankers are all locked up into investing in all kinds of different things, particularly investing in things like hedge funds, where they're making enormous money. But that's the boom window. This is really and you notice it goes from 100 to about 150 here. This is not a huge jump because it's a ramp-up period. The boom window is where the ramp-up occurs. This is the problem. Euphoria sets in. And euphoria comes in, everything is great. Everybody's making money, flipping houses, buying new ones, remodeling old ones, building projects going up everywhere. In Phoenix, the city is borrowing money. They're raising taxes. Who cares? You know, we got plenty of money. We're building this new condominium project, and this is, late 2006, early 2007. We got this new condominium project going up over here. That's still to this day in 2011 doesn't have anybody in it, but they're betting on the future. The government's going to spend more. Your local government's spending more. They're borrowing more, and they're raising taxes. This is the euphoric period, and everybody remembers that during that period of time. You couldn't, stock market's going great. You're bragging about your 401k. Countrywide Mortgage enters, under the Dodd-Frank program, enters the leveraged mortgage business. The head of Countrywide Mortgage in 2008 made $48 million for his remuneration. Fannie Mae gets in the act, their guys making millions. Freddie Mac gets in it, they're making millions. So the federal boys are making a bunch of money. The local guys are making a bunch of money. The unions are getting big raises. Boom window, euphoric. You notice here it says profit window. Right along in here, things start to get a little uneasy. Between here and here, in this roughly 10-year period of time total, from here to here, the government has increased spending dramatically. They've elected Obama the president. He would put us another $2.5 trillion. When Obama went into office, it was $8 trillion in debt. Today, we're trying to raise the debt ceiling above $14.5 trillion. So it's all about the debt. There's no money. They just keep borrowing it. Locally, it's the same thing. Phoenix, $60 billion in the hole. Well, the smart money in this window here figures that out and says, well, hey, I'm going to get out. Now, all of the money that's bet, whether it's in Phoenix or whether it's federally, wherever it is, all the money that's bet is highly leveraged. So when these guys in this window here start taking money out, the cash comes out, business closes up and leaves. We shift our focus, retail to the internet, a functional failure of the market. It's just out of control. Why? Because these guys start taking money off the table. Hedge fund managers made over, I forget what the exact number is, I think it's $3 billion in a matter of 24 months there. AIG president. All of these names that you're going to hear later are tremendously doing well, very happy with their business. Locally, the mayor spends some god-awful amount of money to buy an award that says he's the best mayor in America. In the world, I think it was. I think it cost him $100,000 or something. He bought it, but acted like it was voted on. Nobody cares because we're euphoric. These guys care. They're out. They're gone. Money's off the table. We then enter this phase, and this is the panic window. Once the big boys are out, the profit window's gone, they've taken a lot of cash out, we reach the first time we could have a bust. Now, we could have had a bust here. We don't have a bust here because it's not really a big problem. We can just borrow some more money. Call in the Federal Reserve. And they did. The government comes in and we push this bust window from here to here. But you can't push it from here to here. It's always got to go up. They call this the bust horizon. So each of these steps, and this one hasn't even happened yet. We still haven't had the big bust. Because with the big bust, the volatility goes up, hits the roof, comes back down, and resets at zero. We haven't done that yet. Your house has lost half its value, and I'm telling you, the bust has not yet happened. The bubble has not happened. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is take a look at the World Debt Clock. There's a number there down in the bottom that says cash and derivatives. Those are the wagers made on bets. I mean, this investment bankers and bankers betting money. People don't like to hear that. Bankers really don't like to hear it. But think about this. They borrowed roughly $800 billion that we know of. Before that, what you don't know is there was another $2 trillion put in. Now, the $800 million that went in under TARP, $786 million, that went in under TARP, has been paid back. About 24 months. How do you make nearly $800 billion? How do you do that in 24 months? They didn't loan the money out, which is what Bernanke, who had taken over from Greenspan, thought was going to happen. He thought that the banks would loan the money out. They can't make enough money loaning it to you. You can't afford that kind of profit. They can make it loaning it to hedge funds, investing in all kinds of crazy bets. And they are bets. I don't care what they tell you. These things are hardcore bets on a future outcome. They bailed out Bear Stearns. They didn't bail out Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers, interestingly enough, was the only firm out there run by a woman. So all the good old boys got bailed out. The one-woman CEO, she didn't get bailed out. Think they may be trying to send somebody a message? I have no idea, but it's an interesting point. Another interesting point is that, remember the guy back over here when we had the first problems occur? Alan Greenspan encouraged End of Glass-Steagall. He also encouraged, did the 1% rate drop. Now think about that.